had a woman the other day come in and have a chat to me, and I was asking her a little bit about, you know, where she's at the moment and what she wants to achieve, all those kind of superficial questions. And she said to me, she looked at me straight in the eye and said, "I hate my body." And that's not new. She said, "I hate my arms, I hate my belly, I hate my boobs, I hate my bum, I hate everything." And I was there watching her, and I nearly started to cry. My eyes nearly welled up with tears to the fact that someone hates their body, which is a wonderful part of you. And it really just made me it just clarified a point, you know. People are that disconnected from their feelings, their emotion, who they really are, that they can even now hate part of themselves, which is this body, this biological computer that we are in here, having an experience through. These people hate their body. And it wasn't just a thing they just only recently had. This has been going for years. How long has this been going on, I said. How long have you felt that way? Since I was about 12. And this woman is 40-something years old. That's a long time to hold that kind of feeling towards yourself. If you have that kind of feeling, resistance towards part of yourself, it creates a phenomenal imbalance internally with you. Mm-hmm. And that's what we see in our industry. Whether it be guys who are massive, or they're putting on kilograms of muscles just so they can look bloody huge. It's predominantly coming from an insecurity. Women, in general, I hear women who hate their body, don't like the way they look. Where is that coming from? And if we start to follow that question, where did you get that idea from? I don't know, I just never have liked my body. When's the first time you can remember not liking your body? Oh, back in high school. What made you think that? Oh, one of the girls laughed at me. Something like that. Where did that girl get that idea from that you didn't look properly? I don't know. When you trace that question back, where did that come from? Where did that idea come from? Where did that thought come from? It comes back to this almost illness in our society, which has about how we should look, how we should act, and how we should feel. Someone else has given us these ideas. These babies don't get born saying, "Oh, I really need to look like that when I'm older." They don't. This is something which gets taught to us over time. And a lot of the work I do with people is about going into that part and rethinking and changing thought patterns in regards to how they feel about themselves. Because until you get that, it's pushing shit uphill. It really is.
So when you worked in the army, did you find you was quite around, you're obviously around a very male predominant energy. How did you cope doing this? Like, how did you feel like, not around any feminine energy, quite a young kind of society?
Yeah.
It must have took you back.
Well, what happened, just so you know, Nick, I did 2 years both in some full-time service as well as part-time service in the army for about 2 years, as I said. That was in the infantry. Then I took a break. I got back into the fitness industry. Then I went back into the Air Force. And I went into an all-male squadron in the Air Force. And it was a combat corps, so we had combat troops. There was over 100 combat troops there. So it was, in a lot of ways, I was lucky because a lot of the guys I was in with had come straight from high school, bang into this, and it become just another part of their indoctrination in another way. I had a little bit of a awakening and a separate time to think and experience other aspects of life, like civilian workplace rather than just military workplace. So I came into it from a different angle, and as you said, very male energy. I saw some phenomenally great qualities of male energy, and I saw some phenomenally insecure traits of male energy. They're all there, and because I wasn't caught in it to the degree that a lot of guys are, I was able to see what was going on here. You're able to see that the reason people often yell, and like you see on all those movies about boot camps and what it's like in Nam and stuff like that. The reason people have that need to put other people down and that need to embarrass others and humiliate others stems from a massive insecurity in themselves. The best soldiers I met didn't need to do that. There was times and places to do that, and that's when bullets were flying at you the other way. But the best soldiers and the best men I knew were able to, and they had an aura about them where you would listen to them. They didn't need to yell at you. They didn't need to abuse you. They did not need to put you down. And they had a phenomenal respect amongst the other men. And then you saw the opposite ends, those who would literally bully, put down other people to make themselves feel better. And very interesting place for me to come into and observe. I had to leave. I got to the point where I was almost depressed getting in the military. I tried to get out for about a year and they wouldn't let me, and phenomenally big learning point for me. So I couldn't handle it, and I couldn't pretend to do things I didn't really believe in anymore, and I had to get out. So for me it was a big awakening going into the military again.
It seems like what I'm getting a lot from this conversation is it's insecurity. Like there's a lot of insecurities is what's making this, like, it's so much of like an energy. How can I say this? Like what you say in the army, it's like taking from other people's energy, and in the gym it's like pushing out, getting rid of their fears. So it seems like that seems to be coming up on the conversation a lot. Insecurity from a young age. So obviously I want to look a little bit more on childhood.
Yeah.
Because this is where we're like sponges. We learn most of our trade. We learn about the world.
Yeah.
What made everybody get into this situation? Is this been happening for a long time? Has the world been working in this, or is it coming to a certain point where it's got a bit more intense?
We are coming to a point now where this might sound quite out there for some people who aren't familiar with this kind of stuff. We're coming to an end of an age now. We're transferring from one age into another age, and which, in my feeling of things, it means we're coming under different influences. We're coming under different influence astrologically. Every star out there, every moon particularly out there, has an influence on people, and our Earth is moving to a point now within that galaxy, whatever we want to call it, universe, where the influences are different. It's like, for instance, moving, you've got a few lights in a dark room, and you stand in one spot, the influence of those lights on you might only be covered on your left-hand side, but not your right-hand side. You move to a different point, and you're covered by different lights and different influences. And we are now moving from the cusp of one vibrational energy into another vibrational energy.